What if the treasure you're chasing never existed, and yet it was the best thing that ever happened to you? This is the story of a man who climbed a mountain for a lie and came back with something far more valuable. And no, this isn't a story about gold or jewels. It's about something hidden inside all of us, something we often bury under excuses and comfort.
In a quiet village, tucked at the edge of a tall mountain, lived a young man named Arjun. But unlike others who woke with the sun, Arjun lived in slow motion. Every day, he lay under the same neem tree, watching clouds pass, listening to the birds work harder than him. He wasn't evil, he wasn't hurting anyone, but he wasn't living either. The village called him lazy. He called it peace.
Sometimes, peace isn't peace. It's escape wearing a softer mask. And comfort, that's the most silent kind of prison.
One morning, an old monk named Suresh entered the village. With a faded robe and calm eyes, he noticed Arjun lying there. Every day, same spot, same posture, same wasted potential. Until finally he asked, "Why do you lie here, doing nothing?" Arjun didn't even sit up. "Work is hard," he muttered. "Let me dream." The monk didn't scold him. Instead, he offered bait. "There's a diamond," he said, "hidden beyond that mountain, big enough to make you rich for life."
Here comes the twist. A man who won't walk 10 steps suddenly considers climbing a mountain. Why? Not because he believes in himself, but because someone handed him a shortcut, or so he thought.
Something flickered in Arjun's eyes. He stood up for the first time in days. No plan, no preparation, just a spark of hope and maybe greed. The climb was brutal. Sharp rocks, thin air. His muscles screamed, "Go back!" But the promise of the diamond pulled him forward like a rope tied to his chest. When he reached the top, he collapsed. The view stole his breath, like standing on the edge of the world. But what lay ahead was worse. The path down to the cave was twisted, darker and more dangerous. He fell, he bled, he almost turned back, but he didn't.
You see, the mountain was never made of stone. It was made of all the beliefs he had about himself. I can't. I'm not meant for more. I'm too late. And step by step, he was shattering them.
At last, he found the cave, cold, silent, sacred, but empty. No diamond, not even dust, just a stone floor and the echo of his own breathing. Betrayal washed over him, anger, confusion. He had risked everything, for nothing. For a moment, he sat still, tempted to stay in that emptiness forever. But something inside had changed. He stood back up, not for the diamond, but because he finally could.
Sometimes we chase things not because they're real, but because the chase itself forces us to evolve.
When he returned, blistered and worn, he found the monk waiting by the same tree. "You lied to me," Arjun said, half furious, half broken. The monk smiled. "Yet you climbed. You bled. You returned. You found the real diamond. Diligence. Not something you can hold, but something you become."
And that's where Arjun's real journey began. Not up a mountain, but back in his own fields. This time, with hands that didn't fear hard work. Laziness isn't just about avoiding effort. It's about fearing what happens if we try and fail. But when you chase something bigger than your fears, when you step into discomfort, you unlock a version of yourself you never knew existed. So the next time you feel stuck, ask yourself, is the mountain really too high? Or have you just never tried climbing? And if this story sparked something inside you, pause, because your next lesson isn't about moving, it's about waiting. Click on this next video, The Power of Patience, and discover why sometimes not climbing is the hardest climb of all.